If I could go back and teach my younger self 20 years ago to skip single family, I would do that. But I don't know if I would be in the place to be able to actually go from a W-2 job to multifamily syndicator without that intermediary step. I would love to say, yeah, let's skip that and save ourselves 10 years, but I just don't know because I'm a different person.
He calls and he's like, "Hey man, I know that the world's going to stop for 2, 3 weeks. We don't know what that means." He said, "Let's dive into multifamily." And Michael, I was so new to multifamily that I didn't understand why he used that word. I was like, "Why didn't you just say apartments? I don't even know what multifamily means." But in that moment, those weeks, he would send me sample deals and he would say, here's what makes it profitable. Here's the key metrics that make something interesting. You don't really need to know this. Just see if you can get 10 people on a call tonight at 8 p.m. We're going to go through a sample deal. And I'm like, cool. Because at that point, we had done probably 50, 60 single family deals. Social media was kicking off. People saw we were flipping houses. We were doing all the things that are very eccentric on social media, right? They don't see the grind. They just see that, they don't see the labor pains. They just see the baby. And when people see that, they corner you at family events, social events, and they say, how do I get in? Well, single family, there's no room for you. I mean, there's the pie's not big enough, but multifamily was, and that's how he engaged me with it. And so single family and to multifamily is basically a natural crescendo in just my development, but also Adam kind of realizing that together with my help, my ability to get people on a call, he could do more, and he could focus on underwriting. He could focus on channeling my energy to get deals in front of us. So it's a long-winded answer, but I hope I said that well.
Yeah, and I don't know if I could go back and teach my younger self 20 years ago to skip single family, I would do that. But I don't know if I would be in the place to be able to actually go from a W-2 job to multifamily syndicator without that intermediary step. I would love to say, yeah, let's skip that and save ourselves 10 years, but I just don't know because I'm a different person. I've run that business. I've had to manage employees and hire and fire, and I don't know if you go from a W-2 to now, you're teaming up with guys and we're talking millions of dollars in multifamily without that intermediary step. So I don't know, that's our journey, but if someone can save that step and go right into multifamily, yeah, that all the more power, because that you definitely cut that time down.
Adam, what became so painful in the single family space where you were just like, what, I've kind of had enough of this? Give us some specifics.
Yeah, it's not really painful. I've really always had the plan of standing up multifamily once we had the single family business scaled enough to where it's on autopilot. And so that's really what we were planning to do day one. I mean, goes years back. We were part of the Dealmaker Mastermind, the entry level group, for, I don't know, 3 years. So we've been looking at the SDA. We've known it's coming. It's just a matter of when we can actually pivot and spend time with multifamily. However, we did take on some remodel jobs where we were remodeling some houses for customers, and that is super painful. So we did about 12 of those in 2021, and my wife and I both are going, please, no more. It's the most work and the least amount of profit of anything we were doing. So we had to cut that out. And we actually have one left that we owe somebody, but that's a hard no, because there's a lot of people that want that, and everybody needs their house remodeled. Everybody. It's unreal. And we've said no so many times here in 2022 that it's, I think people are looking at us going like, well, okay, well, yeah, thanks for nothing. That was painful. And flipping for me is pretty much, yeah, I'm not burned out because my wife pretty much handles all of it now, but I don't need to flip another house. I'm kind of moved on and are more interested in flipping an apartment complex and doing all the things there that need to be done. That I've kind of moved on from that. So as we'll flip single family houses for as long as she can handle it, and then we'll pull her over to multifamily and just focus on that. So it's kind of run its course, but it's also paying the bills for 3 or 4 families on single family. And so I wouldn't say we're going to have it forever, but we're going to have it for a while, because it's just.
So why switch over now versus earlier? You said if you do something different, you would go right into apartments and you're not sure if you could do that. You were still lacking the confidence. And now the truth is that many people have done that. Dozens, in fact, hundreds have skipped a single family, but many have not. And it's not because they couldn't do it. Clearly, when dozens do it, it can be done. It's just that they didn't know to do it. And I'm curious to see what was holding you back. This is important because a lot of people watching or listening to this are like, yeah, I kind of feel the same way around that. I don't have the confidence. I don't see how I can get the money. And now with your single family house experience, you feel like you've had it after 50 houses, which is a heck of a track record you'd have to build up to get in apartments. If you had to do it over again, how would you potentially short cycle that?
Oh, that's an easy question. I mean, we would hire a mentor 10 years ago. I mean, it's really hard for me to hire a mentor, and we have refrained from hiring a mentor with single family completely because what are they going to teach us? How to do an extra 2 deals a month? Like, we're already doing 8 or 10 deals a month. We don't really need somebody. We don't need to pay somebody thousands of dollars to show us how to get to 12 or 13. We know. And so, but on multifamily, we saw the value in it. There's a lot of stuff we didn't know. There's a lot of relationships that we needed to build. And, we eventually pulled the trigger and joined the mentorship group with you guys, last September. But if we would have done that 10 years ago, we would have been sitting here a lot sooner, 100%.
And I've got a great perspective as to what happened leading up to that, Michael. I'd love to share. So, you kind of preface that last question with 2 questions. You're like, what changed, right? What got you to make that jump? Well, the thing that's amazing about Home Buying Guys, our single family business, is 2020, it retired both of our wives. Both of our wives work in the business. So they're moms first. They're business ladies, 12 hours a day, always on call, but they can still run some chores around. And so that's been great. We're out and they're supporting us, and you're not going to find our wives not far from what we're doing. But in 2021, single family business retired Adam. And Adam is a very intentional person with his time. He has ran Home Buying Guys. When we were doing 1 deal every 17 months, he was filming SOP videos. He was scaling this business like we had 50 employees from the time we barely had $1,800 in revenue. And so when he was able to retire from his W-2 about 12 months ago, almost to the day, it allowed him some time. It allowed him to reflect on and really push some mediation therapy that he and I have both done. And he called me one day, and I'll never forget. Meditation. What I say, mediation? Yeah, I don't know what that is. Yeah, meditation. Yeah, a lot of bowls, a lot of cool noises. It's super trippy. It's a vibe. It's great. So, but he calls me one day, and I'm in the middle of building this beautiful home, all on my W-2 income. I'm bleeding cash because it's 2022 and building supply prices. And he goes, "Hey, bud," he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Nothing." He's like, I just got out of a meditation," and he goes, "If you're not in on this, it's cool. But if I'm going to move forward without you." He goes, "I think we should join the Michael Blanc deal. And it's X amount of money. If you can't, great. If you can, let's go 50-50. And I immediately was like, "You're not leaving me behind. You're not leaving me behind. I'm in." As I call, 30 minutes before this conversation with Adam, my wife and I are talking about tightening our belt and really getting through this build. And I'm like, "Yeah, I just spent a lot of money, honey, but I'm not letting Adam leave us behind." And so what's really neat about that is he finally, single family business, retired from his W-2. He had time to process and be intentional with where this business was going for the first time, not just playing catch up every night till midnight to keep it going. So that freed him up. And then the really neat thing too is I'll never forget that, because like I said, it wasn't a check I was excited to write when he called me, but I wasn't going to leave him behind. And then you guys pass out a gift. And I mentioned this at Dealmaker Live. You guys pass out like a placard with a quote on it to be hung up. And it literally says, "Your destiny is defined in moments of decision." And, it wasn't let me talk to the wife. It wasn't let me call you back. It wasn't let me move some money around. It was I'm in, we'll figure it out. And within 35 days of that phone call, we would go under contract on 225 units. Mm-hmm. And so that's kind of the neat thing. And I'll leave you with this. As of last Monday, and this is what multifamily's done for us. So I've been a high performing sales guy for a long time. I just built this beautiful home. I have a very great income. The family relies on. Real estate has exceeded that, but it's not it's hard to give up a great lot, when you have, a lot going for you. What multifamily has allowed me to do, and Adam bringing me into this deal, is as of last Monday, I am now financially free. I am now 100% into real estate, and acquisition fees and management fees has allowed me to do that. I don't know that, if we're just running single family, Adam, there's no chance I was able to quit, and you wouldn't have let me. We really studied that together as a team and making sure, we were taken care of. And so that's what the Michael Blunt Group has done for us. And it was an epiphany Adam had in a meditation. He called me, and the rest is history.